Oh my goodness. Hey, you. Today is the day that I have been leading up to. I was going to say raving about, but I guess it's really nothing to rave about. It's just a part of my life, my story. And, I wanted to share. And today I'm feeling super emotional. I didn't know how I would feel today. I thought I was going to feel excited. I thought that, let me try to put this, hold it here. I thought that I would, in my head, in my plan, I was going to get up, get dressed, do my hair, and be super excited to talk about all the things that happened to me today. And as I was reflecting last night, I think the most prominent thing that happened to me today that's really weighing on me, that's making me emotional, is really understanding and grasping that unbeknownst to me, today would be the last day that I seen my daughter for a while. And I've never been away from my daughter since having her, since birthing her. And I had no clue, like I said, that I knew something was going to happen to me today on this day last year. I just really didn't know what the something was going to be. I didn't know how the day was going to end. I never guessed that it would end with me being locked up with mental issues and being away from my daughter and fighting for my life and advocating for myself and trying to convince people and doctors that this person that I had been with is not my husband. We just were together for a super long time, but we've never been married. And I was really fighting for my life today by 5 p.m. So it's like almost around the same time. Around this time last year, this is what I did. The last thing that I did was buy this dress that I'm wearing. It's a brand new dress. I've never worn it, and I literally just put it on. I was trying to reach in the back. I literally still have the tag on. I literally just put it on. I guess I could stand up and show you guys a little better. Watch out, baby. So this was the last thing I did. I went into this boutique that was on the same street that I lived on, and I bought this dress right off the mannequin. Hello. Let me take a second to say hi to you guys. Hi, Hattie. Hi, Simon. I'm glowing. Oh, thanks. I did not do nothing. I literally just took a shower. I didn't even really get myself together. Feeling emotional today, and when I feel emotional, it's kind of interferes with my consistency. But I said that I was gonna show up here and share my story. My armpits are damn good. That's hilarious. I feel like my face is dry. I didn't like oil up or nothing because like I just wanted to put the dress on that I bought and see that if it would like lift my spirits. The dress is actually way too long for me. I'm a shorty. It has a split that goes up the side. And I'm probably going to sell this dress. I still have the tag on it. And I really don't even like the color scheme or anything. It's very revealing. And this is not even the dress that I wanted, but I have been begging that man to go into that boutique and buy me some dresses out of there, and he never went in there. So on this day today, this was the last thing I did. I was able to get into the boutique, and she didn't have the dress that I wanted, and this one just happened to be the better choice of all the dresses she had that day. And literally, I was like, I have $100. You can have it. Just give me this damn dress. I've been trying to get in this boutique. And she was like, oh, it only costs $57. And I was like, I don't care. I have places to be, things to do. Take the damn dress off the mannequin and put it in a bag. And take my $100, take my money. I don't care what you do with the rest of it. Wipe your ass with it, really. Just give it to me. And it was like a whole back and forth. She didn't want to take my money. It was mainly because of her husband. It was like a weird encounter. The whole day was strange. And I was going to get on here and tell the whole entire story. I could. There were so many things that happened. I feel like I would be out here for like 2-3 hours trying to recap the day. The biggest things that stand out from that day is that man kicked me and his daughter out the house. Tell the story. Well, yesterday, okay, let me go back. Yesterday, I left off at right before midnight. He told me that my voice was annoying. He wished I would shut up. And he went to bed. And I stayed up. I stayed up because the way that he had been talking to me for several months, I was like, why? Like, something's changed and I don't understand. And I kept trying to submit more and show up more and cook more and clean more and be there for him more. And it was just, the more that I did, the worse that things got. At least I thought. It got way worse after today. I thought it couldn't get any worse, but it really did. So anyways, when he woke up, he's like, Dag, you're still up and you're still, I was trying to talk to him like, good morning, how do you feel, how do you sleep? And he was like, why are you talking to me? He's just being like really mean. And he went in the bathroom, and when he came out, I was still trying to like talk, like, what's going on with us? Like, the more that I tried to do this, the more mean you're being to me. And literally he was just like, you and her, y'all gotta get out of here. And he, like, for the first time, he got his daughter dressed, and he never gets her dressed. And he didn't even fully get her dressed. He put her on a pink tank top and some black biker shorts and sent us out the door. And I didn't care because I was able to get in that car. And I was just feeling like pumped up, so energetic, because I stayed up all night journaling. And I was just feeling on cloud nine. I was really feeling like, yo, something's gonna happen to me. I don't know what, but something's gonna happen to me. And I was just feeling like a kid at Christmas time. Like, I couldn't go to sleep. And plus, on this day, I was going to be having a meetup with a friend that I haven't seen for a long time, that did an accelerator program with us when I was just starting out in business and trying to create my own product back in 2019. And I was meeting up with them because they make comic books. They make comic books, and I wanted to get some of their comic books for my nephews, because my nephews, as grown as they are, they're still into comic books. And I hadn't seen that person in a long time. And the funny thing is, their relationship with the person that they were with back at that time, they separated and went their own ways. And I just wanted to catch up with that person. So after he kicked us out and he got my daughter dressed half-ass, I left. I went out. I was cruising, driving, and just talking to God and just like reflecting, like, dag, like, this whole week has been weird. It's been crazy, and I know something's gonna happen to me. So I didn't know it was gonna happen to me, and that's why I kept saying about the lottery thing, like, yo, I'm gonna hit the lottery. Like, the energy of just what was happening, the aura, I was like, something's gonna happen to me. And I always try to speak positivity and goodness over my life and abundance. So I was like, I'm gonna hit the fucking lottery, yo. And I met with my friends. We conversed. I met at Barnes and Nobles. And I hadn't been in Barnes and Nobles in a long time, but Barnes and Nobles is my favorite bookstore. And I got in there, and then I was like, yo, you want something from Starbucks? Because I don't really go to Starbucks a lot, but when I do, I get one particular thing, a grande cocoa cookie crumble frappuccino. Sorry. And the person I was with, they were like, oh, get me the cheapest thing on the menu. Why do people do that? Like, if other people are paying your way, don't be afraid to spend people's money. So that's what I told them. I'm like, don't be afraid to spend my money. Like, get what you want. Like, it's on me. Today, I'm going to hit the lottery. Like, something crazy is going to happen to me today. And I was talking mad loud. I was being loud on purpose, but I was being loud and authoritative. And at one point in time in our conversation, the person was like, you know you're talking really loud. And the second he said that, I was gonna respond, but there was a couple walking by, and it was a white man with his wife. And before I could respond, he said to the person I was with, like, oh my goodness, you're in the presence of a boss. That's a boss speaking right there to you. And I started laughing, and I was like, you got damn right. I am a boss. And thank you for being able to realize that. And I asked him his name. He told me his name. And then I was like, I hope that you have an amazing day, because I'm having an amazing day. And he was like, yeah, be sure to be grateful of being in her presence, because she is a boss. Like, and then he went on. And then I went to respond to the person I was with, my friend. And I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. I paid to be here. I bought drinks. I believe I bought a book. And when you pay, nobody could tell you, nobody could shush you, nobody could tell you to be quiet. We're not in a library. At a library is free. So when things are free, you have to abide by other people's rules, because it's free. And it's a library, and you didn't have to buy shit, and you can use their resources and their energy and their building, and you have to do what a library tells you to do. Here, I had to pay for my drinks, my food, and my book. So here, I'm gonna talk, and I wish somebody would shush me. I wish somebody would tell me to shut up. I wish somebody would. And where I'm in a paid establishment, and I even talked louder. And nobody told me that, nobody ever came over to us, nothing. Like, I was just feeling amazing. I was really feeling amazing this day last year. I was just feeling on cloud 9. I was just feeling on top of the world. So anyways, we talk. They shared some stories with me, and said a prayer. We planned to meet up again. Like I said, I had my daughter with me, and then I left. I went outside. But before this, I remember writing, before going into the Starbucks to meet my friends in Barnes & Nobles, I remember writing a whole long social media post. Hi, Stella. Thanks for tuning in. And it was damn near like a proposing to this man, because I was just like, why does he keep acting like this? And then he just kicked me and his daughter out. Like, something's going on with him, and I don't know what. And I was really trying to like solve this Rubik's Cube, and really feeling like, damn, this person that I love is treating me so horribly, and then not helping me with our daughter, and then now he's kicked us out, and I'm just out here. But I was just trying to enjoy being mobile, because like I said in a previous video, I was being isolated in that house. I was being surveillanced, a lot of shit that I was feeling and knowing. But when I would talk to the person that was doing it to me, they're like, oh, you're imagining this, or you're crazy, and that's not what's going on, that's not what's happening. So anywho, I left, and I got in the car, and I was going to Burger King. I was gonna go to Burger King, because that's the only place that my daughter will eat out from, either Burger King or Dunkin' Donuts. And I was gonna get her some fries. And the Burger King that I always go to is in downtown Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, where we live. Now, I go to this Burger King all the time. And the most ironic thing that I find at this Burger King is this Red Robin. The most ironic thing that I find at the Burger King is there's a girl that works at the Burger King, and I see her every time I go there, okay? and she works at the taking people's money. She takes the orders and then she takes your money. And this girl collects people's money and she don't have any hands. And I'm not making this shit up. She doesn't have any hands. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. And I've always wondered, like, why do they have this girl working here collecting the, like, couldn't they find something else for her to do? Because why is she collecting people's money? And even one day, I didn't ask her specifically, but I had gave her, I tried not to give her change or nothing. I gave her like a couple singles and she wanted to give me the change back. And I was like, don't worry about it, just keep it. And she was like, oh, well, you know, people are always yelling at me when I drop their change and stuff. And I was like, oh, people are being inconsiderate and that's not cool. Anywho, I went there this day. She was at the window. I talked to her. She collected my money. She always gives me a crown for my daughter and always says, like, having a beautiful day. Your daughter is beautiful. I pulled up to the next window. Now, I always go to this Burger King. This is the most craziest thing. I always go here. The girl at the window who gave me the food, the fries, she looked identical to the girl at the first window. And I said, excuse me, I come here all the time. I've never seen you. And you look exactly like the girl at the previous window. And she says, yeah, that's my twin sister. I was like, oh shit, I really gonna hit the lottery today. There's no way. I'm like, how long you been working here? So she told me, and I'm like, I've never seen you here. And she doesn't have any disabilities. She like has all her body parts and they just all look the same. So I was like, I asked her, I was like, why in the world do they have your sister back here collecting the money and then you over here? And she was like, oh, it's just management. She was like, I don't know. And she was like, plus my sister likes working, like taking the orders and collect the money. So I was like, oh, okay. I always just thought, like, was it by design like that or whatever? So we finished conversing, but I just thought, how ironic. Like, what is the odds? Do you know how many times I come to this Burger King? I've never seen you here. And you have a twin. You guys are twin sisters. So I thought that was strange. And I remember writing her name and their name like on my receipt. Like, there's no way I would see these twin sisters here. I just thought it was eerie, in my opinion. So I had left there. And then I remember my sister texted me. And I don't talk to my sister often, but I had sent my sister a package. She wanted some pictures of my daughter. And I had sent her a couple other things. So she was like, oh, I keep checking the mail. Like, did you send the pictures? And I was like, yeah, I sent the pictures. And I sent you, like, I had ordered a sweatshirt and some other things that she was into. And I sent those. And we were talking. And I was just testing out people's responses. So I was like, oh, I want to let you know I hit the lottery today. Something's going to happen to me today. And I feel like I hit the lottery. And so she said, oh, congratulations. And I was like, yo, the next time I see you, I'm going to bless you with some money. I'm going to bless you with $30,000 in a white envelope. And she was like, huh? And then I never got to respond to that because I was driving and I don't like to drive and text. So I drove around. Me and my daughter, we went to the park. And then I left the park and I was on my way home. It was like right around this time, 4 o'clock. And as I drove, I got right to the end of the street. And at the end of the street is where the boutique is, where I bought this dress that I'm wearing. I went there, pulled up, and I got out the car. Now, mind you, this car also, we were having problems with this car. So, and any time that I had it, it seemed like the car was rigged. It was strange. Like, something would always happen when I had the car. So I went out, I got out, and I tried to go into the boutique, and it was locked, and nobody was in there. And I was like, hell no, I'm getting in here today. I'm getting in here. And because I never have the time or the money to come in here and buy anything. So right next door, there's a barbershop. So I went into the barbershop and I was like, excuse me, gentlemen, like, do you guys know the owner of this boutique? And they're like, oh yeah, such and such. She went out to lunch. Come sit in here because it was hot. It was hot like today. They're like, come sit in here and you could wait. And then it was taking way entirely too long. It took way longer than 20 minutes. And so I'm like, I know how to channel shit to get reactions, to get what I want. So something told me, like, start acting like my mom. When my mom is like under the influence, starts acting like annoying. And like when you act annoying, people want to get you out their space. People want to just get you whatever you want so you can get the fuck on. So I stood up and I started talking mad loud, like, yo, this is taking way too long. You told me 20 minutes. Like, I got my daughter here. It's not that cool in here. I got shit to do. Where is this lady? Can you call her? I was just like on my boss shit. Like, whatever I asked for, I got that day. So he literally called her in front of me, put her on speaker. And she was like, yeah, I'm coming. And I was like, cool, I'm going to wait outside. And he was like, yeah, you do that. I knew they wanted me to get out of there because I started being annoyed. So I went and I waited outside. And then it was like the one nice guy that worked in the barbershop came out and stood outside with me and my daughter. And just conversing with me back and forth. And then it was almost like I knew the lady. I seen her coming around the corner. And I was like, oh, are you so-and-so? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, girl, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting to get into this boutique. You know how long I've been trying to get in here and get a dress? I'm like, this dress right here this dress was on the mannequin. I'm like, give it to me. I'm on a limited time. Take it right off the mannequin, put it in a bag, give it to me. And she was with her husband, and it looks like they were just arguing. Like, you could tell. And it almost looked like she was scared. And I was just like, please, I don't have a lot of time. I got to go. And I was like, all I have is this $100 bill. I don't even want change. Just give me the fucking dress off the mannequin now so I could go. And then her husband was like, oh, no. We can't take your $100. And I'm like, why not? It's cash money. What are you talking about? And he was like, well, we can't accept the extra money as a tip. And so I was like, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the owner of the store. Whose name is on the door? Your wife's, not you. So I directed my energy towards the wife because I could tell there was something going on. Maybe some DV. I was just dealing with my own situation, so I could pick up the energy. And so she was like, no. My husband says I can't take your $100. Like, girl, this is your boutique, or do you want to make money today? What the hell are you talking about? You can't take my money. And so I was like, please, I don't care what you do with the extra money. Shove it up your ass, wipe your ass with it. Give it to a homeless person. I don't know, but give me this dress. And as I was saying that, she like ripped it off. She's like, okay, ripped it off, put it in a bag. And she took my money. And I was like, I will be seeing you again. Something's going to happen to me today. I don't know what, but I'm feeling like I hit the lottery. And went outside. And I was going to get back in that car, yo. And God said, don't get back in that car. Walk home. Well, actually, he didn't say walk home. He said, walk up the street. And I said, walk? And he said, yeah, walk up the street until I tell you to stop. So that's what I did. Because I already had my daughter in a stroller. And so I started walking. And as I was walking, I was literally 2 blocks away from the house. And God said, stop right here and wait on that man. And I was like, stop right here. I was like right in front of these little projects that are not too far from the house that I lived in, on the same street. Everything was on the same street. So I stopped. And I was like waiting there, pacing. And I'm like starting to talk to God, like, oh my gosh, are you sure that I'm supposed to sit here and wait? And he's like, yes, wait right here. Don't move. He's going to come pick you up. And so I was like, okay. And then in that time of me waiting and pacing, God started showing me stuff. He started showing me signs and symbols of the things that I've been working on manifesting into my life. And it was just clear as day, the things that I was seeing and that he was showing to me. And it was like an out of body experience. It was really mind blowing. And I'm like, wow. Another thing that God was showing me was that, like, me and him, we're not going to work out. We're going to be separated. And that he was doing a lot of stuff behind my back. God showed me my abundance of my bamboo trees that I've been working on manifesting. And not literal bamboo trees, but just, if you don't know anything about bamboo trees, when bamboo trees are planted, nothing happens. Like, they don't grow for 5 years. And then in year 5, they just sprout out 90 feet. And so in my vegan catering business, it was called Veganish Foodies. And the eye in there was designed to look like a bamboo tree. And so this had been year 4 of us trying to manifest to get our businesses to these levels. And it was just, it had just been at a plateau from year 3 and year 4. And so I was just like coming up with all these different things for us to do to hurry up and get to this point that I'm at in my life. And God was just showing me, like, yeah, hold on, the abundance of that metaphor with the bamboo trees is coming. He's just showing me a lot of stuff, yo, and I was just like mind blown. And I was getting ready to leave. I'm like, it's taking forever for this man to come. You told me he's gonna come pick me up. And right then, 2 strangers that lived in the apartments that I was in front of pulled up, and the lady specifically was trying to give my daughter, like, she was trying to give her food and snacks out of her house. And I don't let people give my daughter food and snacks. Plus, on top of that, she was drinking alcohol and she was smoking a cigarette, and she kept getting in front of my daughter's face. And I was like, please, could you not get so close to her with that cigarette, and like stop offering her stuff. Like, she doesn't eat this stuff, she has allergies. And she was just pressing it like, oh, but it's good stuff, it's cookies, it's chips, it's whatever. I'm like, she doesn't eat that stuff and she has allergies. And I was getting annoyed. So then I stopped talking to her, and I started talking to her guy, like whoever he was. Their names was Dante. I'm going to say their names because it's relevant. His name was Dante, and her name was Rose, but I kept calling her Rosa on purpose because she was pissing me off. And I know that the one thing that really makes people mad is when you don't say their name right. So I knew her name was Rose, but I kept calling her Rosa. And every time I would be like, Rosa, stop trying to offer my daughter this. She don't eat it. She was like, my name's not Rosa, it's Rose. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to call you the right name as soon as this man pulls up. I was getting so anxious. Like, God, you told me to wait right here. It's been a minute. It felt like it had been a long time, but it was like 40 minutes, maybe almost close, getting to an hour. And so as we were talking, lo and behold, he pulled up. And I was like, okay, Rose, I gotta go. My man is here. I was standing here because God told me to wait for him, that he was gonna come pick me up. He's gonna come pick me up. And so he got out the car very aggressively, literally didn't say nothing to me, snatched my daughter out the car seat, threw her in the car, threw the car seat in the car, and then like was dragging me like, come on. And like, another thing that was very prominent is that he had been stopped calling me like babe, baby, love. Like, he was just starting to call me by my name, India. So he was like, India, let's go. And he was like dragging me, and I was like trying to say bye to them. I'm like, bye, Dante, bye, Rose. It was so nice to talk to y'all. Thanks for keeping us company, right? And then he like shoved me in the car. And then he was just concerned about where was the car. So I wouldn't answer him. I was like locked into like what God was showing me, what God was telling me. So I wouldn't answer him. He was like screaming at me, where's the car? Where's the car? Where's the car? And I wouldn't say nothing. I was just like talking to myself out loud. Really, I was talking to God, what God was showing me. And so he drove around until he found the car. It didn't take him long to find the car because it was right at the end of the street. And as soon as he got the car, as soon as he seen where the car was, he drove back to the house, went in the house. I couldn't even get out the car. He went in and went out so fast. I didn't know what he did at the time because it was so much going on. And then he came back in the car, and then he drove to his mom's house, which I didn't think was weird or strange at the time. But he drove to his mom's house, got out the car. He did after he found out where the car was, he wouldn't say nothing else to me. Drove to his mom's house, got out the car, took my daughter out the car. Now that's what really bothers me when I think back about this shit, because I didn't know that that would be the last time that I see my daughter. I didn't, and like him knowing and understanding what he was about to do to me, I mean, he could have at least let me give my daughter a hug and a kiss. He just snatched her out the car and brung her and gave her to his mom. And so at the time when this was happening, I honestly didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was weird. I didn't think it was strange. I thought that we were going to go either back to the house or go somewhere and talk, because I had been begging this man to talk to me. Mind you, just not even 24 hours ago, he told me that my voice was annoying and he wished I would shut up, because I kept trying to talk to him like, what's going on with us? What's going on with our businesses? What's going on with our parenting? Why is it just like me and then you're telling me to do everything by myself? Like, why do I need to be in this relationship if I have to do everything by myself? So I thought that we were gonna go talk. I really thought we were gonna go talk. I didn't think that I would not see my daughter for a while. I didn't think anything. And the next thing I knew, he got in the car, didn't say nothing, and then we pulled up at the hospital. And this is the hospital that I used to work at. This is the hospital that I left in 2013 that freaking already had traumatized me. I had a lot of trauma from that place. And I decided on my own merit in 2013 that I was walking away from the medical field, that I was walking away from this hospital that I thought was my dream job, and that I thought I was going to work there and retire from there. I left that shit already in 2013. So when he pulled up at this hospital, I started freaking out. First of all, I said, why did you just bring me to the fucking hospital, bro? Why are we here? He wouldn't say nothing to me. And he snatched me out the car and demanded I walked in. And as I was walking in, I started hyperventilating. And then I was like, oh my gosh. When I got almost to the door, I seen cops. And so I was like, God, you told me that he would pick me up. You didn't tell me where he would bring me. And why the hell am I at the hospital? And literally, God said, run back and check the car door. So that's what I did. I ran, and then the cops were chasing me. I ran and I checked the car doors and they were locked. And when I turned around, he was right there. He was right up on me. And I was like, oh, you strategically just brought me here. And he just had a smirk on his face. And the reason that I say that is because I've lived with this man for 10, 11 years. He never locks nothing. He don't lock the car doors. He don't lock the house. It's always me that locks the house down, always double checks and makes sure everything is locked at the end of the night. He never locks anything. And we lived in the hood, yo. So I was like, oh shit, he locked the doors. Like, I ain't getting out of this. And I was just talking to God, like, you did not tell me he's gonna, like, why am I at the hospital? Why am I back at this place that I left already? Like, what is this? You just told me that to wait for him, he's gonna pick me up. And God said, trust the process and just go inside and work on your business skills. And so the cops walked behind me, he walked beside me, and he had my bag. That's another thing that I look back and I think was weird. He was carrying my bag, my purse. And do you know how many times I've been with this man, I've asked him to hold my purse or do something, he'd be like, oh, I'm a man, I don't hold purses, I don't do none of that. But he had my bag. And we walked inside, and I said, oh, I started working on my business skills, which was talking to people, asking them their name, and learning about their lives. Because people like to talk about themselves. They like for you to remember their name, and they like for them to talk about themselves, not the other way around. So I had to talk to the receptionist, Judy. I talked to her the most, and while I was there, he was trying to check me in. Now, this is what he was saying. I could hear what he was saying, but I was like literally tuning him out. That's why I said it was like an out-of-body experience. I was tuning him out. The cops were behind me. I was being loud. Now, when I went in, I was being loud, intentionally. I commanded attention when I went into the hospital. Actually, I commanded attention everywhere I went today last year, because I was just in my boss era. Like wherever I go, I'm gonna command attention and people, and I'm gonna be the authority. When I tell you that I went in the hospital and it was like the whole hospital stopped and all eyes were on me. Get down, my love. All eyes were on me, okay? The entire hospital, all the patients, all the workers, everybody was just fixated on who's this girl who just walked in and she's being loud and she's being authoritative, and nobody knew like what was going on with me. So I didn't even know what was going on with me. I could not understand why he brought me to the hospital, yo. But anyways, as I was talking to Judy, I'm talking to her. I remember her name. I remember that how she told me she's worked here for decades upon decades upon decades, and that she never been able to go on her dream vacation at Disney World. And how I brung that up is because I complimented her earrings that she had on. She had on like some goofy earrings. I don't like Mickey Mouse or nothing about it, but that's another business skill that I learned, is that talk to people, remember their name, get them to talk about themselves, their life story, and compliment on something, because people like to be complimented, and a lot of times people go through the entire day without being complimented or asking how their day was. So I complimented on her earrings, and that was something that she told me. Simultaneously, he's getting frustrated because he's trying to look in my bag, trying to find my ID, trying to check me in and admit me. And when they asked him why he was admitting me, he said, oh, because she has mental issues. He's like, I think something's going on with her. She's having a nervous breakdown, or looking to get her diagnosed. Now I could hear this, but I couldn't even respond to it because I was so locked in on what I was doing, and I was trying to differentiate. Why did you bring me here? I could reflect on everything now. Like, why did you have my purse? You purposely went through my stuff. And I was telling the lady there about like, oh, I'm gonna bless you because I won the lottery today. I'm gonna win the lottery. And nobody believed me. So I told you guys about the story yesterday about how I bought 2 lottery tickets, okay? And he bought 2 lottery tickets of the same lottery tickets. Now, I said, you don't have to believe, like, check my bag. Mind you, I didn't have my bag, but my lottery tickets was in my bag. I never seen those lottery tickets, yo. My lottery tickets was in the bag. Nobody would check my bag. So how do you know if I won the lottery or not if you won't check my bag? So that's what the whole hospital thing turned into. I was like, yo, I'm here because I won the fucking lottery. And this man that I've been in a relationship with is telling y'all that he's my husband, he's my advocate, and that he speaks for me and I can't speak for myself. And he wants me locked up, locked away, and diagnosed. And you're not even checking into anything that I'm saying. Like, literally check my bag. The tickets are there. And I don't know why he brought me to the hospital. Like, what do you mean? If somebody won the lottery, why would they need to be locked up for that? That's where the narrative started to go to, because I couldn't figure out. He wouldn't tell me why he brought me to the hospital. He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't say nothing. And then I hear him telling these people that he wants me to be diagnosed and that he wants me, that I'm having a nervous breakdown, which was like, I just had an amazing day, guy. What are you talking about? And it was just like strange. So like I said, I had the whole entire hospital surrounded by me because I was being loud, just talking to people, like not loud and irate about anything, just talking to people like, hi, how are you doing? What's your name? Did you know I used to work here? That's what I was telling anybody that would listen. I'm like, yo, this man who's not my husband brought me back here and he's telling people that he wants me diagnosed. And yo, I used to work here. And they didn't believe that I used to work there because the last job that I did there was on the flex team. And apparently the flex team is no longer a department there. But I didn't work on one specific area of the hospital. In my whole entire time there, I worked on every unit of that hospital, every floor, every aspect, even the new buildings that they created there. right before I left. I worked on every single one. That's why I liked working on the flex team. I'm smart, not fucking psychotic, yo. I worked on the flex team because I wanted to get all the experience I could of working there in the hospital, so that I worked on oncology. I worked with basically every genre of patients there. And there, thank God, like, the more that I said that I worked there was a lot of people who didn't know me, so they were like, oh, she must really be crazy because she thinks that she used to work here. But then it was like, once I got out of the emergency room and I got to the room that they were placing me in, there was people who recognized me and they're like, oh shit, that's India, she used to work here. So now it became like a tug of war of like people who were advocating for me that was saying I used to work there, and then all the people that were not advocating for me that was like, oh, she's crazy, her husband's checking her in to basically get my head checked, which I didn't know they were going to do at the time, because they're like, oh, she thinks she used to work here, she thinks that she won the lottery, and she's not really sure as to why she's here, and her husband is concerned about her mental health. Like, what? It was like so much stuff going on. But I'm like, I did used to work here. There's people here that are literally saying that they know me, that they recognize me, and you're trying to tell me that I didn't because the department that I worked over 10 years ago no longer exists? Like, what are you talking about? So it was like a lot. I really felt like I was playing a game. I felt like I was in an episode of movie Jigsaw. So I started saying that. I started telling him, I don't know why you got me here. When nobody was around, I was talking to him normal tone, normal whatever. When people were around, I started being loud. Like, oh shit, I'm Jigsaw. You got me being Jigsaw right now because why did you bring me to this hospital? I already been traumatized by this place. You just had cops chase me in here. You locked the door. You won't talk to me. I don't know what's going on. And now you talking about something's going on with me and my mental health and that I need to get a diagnosis. So I was like, okay, let's play this like stupid ass game. And so the day ended with me, by the time they put me in the room that they put me in, and when they freaking locked me to that bed, that's when I started being fucking irate, okay? I started screaming, and I started screaming so loud and whatever I was saying, that the whole unit that I was on all stopped working, and they all were outside. So like when you're in the rooms in the emergency room part, all the rooms are glass doors. So I had everybody just standing outside my door looking at me. I really felt like I was in a movie. And they were all just staring at me. And I was like, oh shit, I got all eyes on me. I told y'all I'm fucking Jigsaw. My love, come back. Come back. I was like, I told y'all I am. Right now, I am Jigsaw. I gotta play a fucking role because everybody's staring at me. And I was like, listen, I am here against my will. And this man is not my husband, yo. I won the lottery today, and I'm not lying. I have the lottery tickets right there in my mauve bag. Now, this was a mauve. I hate the color pink. As I say that, I'm wearing this dress. But he had bought me this bag. It was a mauve bag. And he knows that my favorite colors are green and yellow. So, and he wouldn't let me get to the bag. He had it hidden up like in the cabinet. And I'm like, if anybody right now goes in my bag and takes out the tickets, you could have them. They're yours. And I could literally see the people who believed me but was scared. And then I could see the people who was just like, this bitch is crazy. And I could see the people who was just like watching in awe as if like a car accident. Like they couldn't take their eyes off of me. And then right before they shot me up, and I didn't know they were gonna do that. He knew, but he didn't even tell me. He brung his friend, a mutual friend. He brung his friend to show me acting a fucking fool in this hospital, yo. So I was like, oh shit, so and so is here, and I'm like, yo, get my bag. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody won't check into what I'm saying. Get my bag, such and such. And at this point in time, looking back on this, like he was just bringing somebody that knew us, like a mutual friend, to verify, like, oh, look, this she in here acting crazy. But it's like, you put me, my love, I'm like, you locked me up. You are basically taking me as a dog and locking me in a corner, locking me in a cage. And what do you think is going to happen? How do you think that I am going to act? Because I'm literally clueless as to why you have me here and why I'm locked up to a fucking bed. And right after I seen such and such, this mutual friend, and because I'm screaming at this point because they have me locked to a bed, like, yo, I'm chained to a fucking bed, like I'm a crazy person. And I was just on the street. I just bought a dress. I just did all this stuff, and even the stuff I was saying that I did, they didn't believe me. I was like, I really felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. And the next thing I know is 2 nurses shot me up with, I believe, Ativan. And I could see. The first thing I wanted to do, I wanted to be like, oh my gosh, babe, like, he knows how I feel about medicine. That's why I left the medical field, yo. He knows how I feel about that shit. And I went to say that, but it was almost like the words were regurgitated, because he was literally at first facing me before they shot me up. But right as they shot me up, he was like standing to the side and like corner eye looking at me with a smirk. And I was like, oh shit, this was all planned. And now I've been shot up with stuff. I don't like foreign things in my body. I don't take medicine. I take freaking vitamins. This has been a theory, not a theory. This has just been my life. I changed my life. I changed the way that I eat. I left the medical field because the medical field literally was making me sick. I used to be overweight when I was working as a nurse, all types of stuff, because I used to work overnights. And then I was having my own health issues back then. This is why I created Veganish Foodies and everything sauce, because I healed myself healthy. I did research and I healed myself, and I changed my life and my lifestyle due to how I was living before, with working overnight, eating fast food, eating terribly, not taking care of myself, all types of stuff. So, and definitely against medicine. I am against medicine and prescribed medication. I am against that shit, yo. I'm all about natural stuff. And even before this, I was all about it. But I'm super into it now because I have just been on this 12-year journey of all natural, healing myself healthy with natural things from the earth, from God. So after that, I was knocked out. I was knocked out after they shot me up, yo. And that pretty much concludes today's story of like what happened. And I'm also working on my storytelling because like I get distracted and my stories go from all over the place. But that was my day. So I never got to respond back to my sister. I never got, this dress was just still in the bag. Thank God. And then thank God I even got this dress back. So this is my first day wearing the dress. And I never got my phone. I never got to do anything. I didn't know that me going to sleep, that I would not be leaving the hospital anytime soon. I didn't know that. I didn't know that today would be the last day that I see my daughter. And out of everything that happened of me advocating for myself, talking to all these people, commanding attention, being a boss, I didn't know that this man would take my kid away from me and like play this game with me. I was really playing a fucking game. I was really being Jigsaw. Like, you're playing a game with me. And it was almost my brother's birthday. I never got to give my brother his birthday gifts. Mad shit. So I just went to sleep thinking, are you going right now? Oh, sure, I have to change my clothes. So yeah, that concludes today. And I'll be back with what happened to me tomorrow. Let's see if I can go through and comment on stuff. Dag. I need to eat dinner though. My love, do you want to go to the park? You want to go to the park? I'll have to come back and respond to you guys. But thanks for tuning in.